won 15 straight games, folks. This St. Mary's team is legit. They are poised to make a run later on the season, but they're not worried about that right now. They're worried about just taking care of East Jordan at home in front of their home fans. And like I said, 15 straight wins. Their last win, or their last loss, last year.
Yeah, that's right. December 3rd, coming against New Lothrop, was the last time the Snowbirds took an L, and that was at over like a little bit of a Thanksgiving project holiday down. They were playing downstate, and since then, Snowbirds have reeled off 15 straight wins to the tune of that 15-2 record that you mentioned. But tonight they have an opponent from just west, East Jordan, making the 32-mile trip over to the east to Gaylord to take on the Snowbirds. And the Red Devils this year have been an improving team, promising team with a lot of up-and-coming talent. Talk a little bit about the Red Devils as we look ahead to this matchup.
So, yeah, Red Devils bringing up they've got two of their, I would say, their lead players on this team are going to be Ellie Sherman. They'll look for her number 5, probably one of their lead guards. And
Kirkpatrick and Cross.
I was going to say Cross is their probably their top player. She's their forward post player. Kirkpatrick, a really good shooter as well. So those three names, Sherman, Kirkpatrick, and definitely Cross, are going to be names you're going to watch out for. And they all are multi-sport athletes as well, which obviously many high school athletes play multiple sports, but they're athletic. This is an athletic team. They play in a tough conference against teams like Traverse City, St. Francis, and Boyne City, and Charlevoix. So, they're struggling maybe at the bottom, but this is still going to be a nice matchup. And they do have some young players. They brought up a few players from JV, one of them specifically Guerrero, Sydney Guerrero. So maybe watch for her to get some minutes tonight, because kind of a small team, this East Jordan team, but also St. Mary's doesn't necessarily have the numbers either, but they kind of have that starting 5 that they just lean on most of the game.
I mean, the thing is with the St. Mary's Snowbirds is they've seen a lot of different challenging teams so far this season. They've played 17 games. They've got 5 games remaining until this season is concluded. But one thing that the Snowbirds have done, I mean, they're very battle-tested. We saw them play the other night against Lake Leelanau St. Mary. It was a regional semifinal matchup, and the Snowbirds handled it with ease, but they probably played their best game of the year in that matchup versus Lake Leelanau St. Mary. So one thing that I'm looking for tonight is how does the matchup between Cross and Schultz go down?
Yeah, that's interesting, because Schultz is I'll be interested to see if Cross can run the floor with Schultz the entire game, because this might be difficult, because as we know, Schultz might be their tallest player in a sense, but she can play literally anywhere on the court, so that will be tough for Cross and EJ to kind of rein in not just one player, but you got a starting 5 to worry about. That's what I always love covering St. Mary's games, is you don't have just one player, you don't have 2 players you can lean on. You got all 5 your starting players can produce points, turnovers, rebounds, all of it. So
that's right. I mean, when Macy Bevel, your point guard, who is a tremendous and very tenacious offensive player, and the same as defensively for her, but when she's averaging 17 points a game, Grzinski averages about 12.5 points a game, and Ava Schultz is right around 13 to 14 points a game. You add all those together, and you're at 47 points.
Right.
47 points is going to keep you in a lot of ball games if you're applying the strict law of averages between those 3 players.
And I will say this too: recently, some of the leading scorers came out for the Ski Valley Conference, and those names you just listed, all 3 or all 4 of them atop of the list. So they're
go figure.
Yeah, they're not only leading their team, they're not only leading the conference, but they're also leading the conference in scoring. So we do have about 7.5 minutes till tip-off. I just want to once again thank you, Charles, for allowing me on the broadcast. I want to thank you all watching from home. Feel free to comment along. We'll shout you out as well. And maybe even get a student section look camera eventually at some point today. We'll see.
Yeah, we're going to have Johnny Burkhart bringing in the student section camera here. We're going to send it over to the Gaylord Eye Care Center split screen for the rest of the pregame show. We've got about 7 minutes left to go before tip-off, and this has been this pregame show brought to you by the Gaylord Eye Care Center. Gaylord Eye Care Center with 4 locations in northern Michigan: Sheboygan, Boyne City, Bel Air, Gaylord. That's 4. And the Gaylord Eye Care Center, proud sponsor of Next Level Broadcasting's coverage of high school basketball. If you or your family member wants to stop into the Gaylord Eye Care Center at any of those 4 locations, they can get a free consultation just by saying that they heard about it on Next Level Broadcasting. And in part with the Gaylord Eye Care Center and Next Level Broadcasting, we're teaming up. If you know anyone affiliated with high school basketball, whether they're an official, someone who keeps the book, runs the clock, send them in to the Gaylord Eye Care Center for a free consultation. That's our efforts in part with the Gaylord Eye Care Center to keep everyone involved in high school basketball seen at the top of their game.
What about broadcasters? I would say broadcasters need to see too.
Yeah, I mean, broadcasters definitely have to see. Sometimes we see what we want to see, though.
Yeah.
Because in order for us to make the call, we kind of have to have a little preconception in our head of what we're going to say.
Right.
But the same deal applies to all broadcasters around there. So I'm going to have to schedule. It's going to be a long day when the Next Level Broadcasting crew shows up at the Gaylord Eye Care Center to get their eyes tested.
There'll be a line out the door.
There'll be a line out the door. There'll be a lot of chitter-chatter about high school sports as well. So as we're getting back into this pregame segment, Charles Strail joined by Brendan Morris tonight. We talked about the matchup between Cross and Ava Schultz. Correct. Another matchup that I'm looking forward to seeing for the Snowbirds is who's going to guard Kirkpatrick. I would imagine that'll probably be Macy Beble. And Kirkpatrick definitely has a height advantage over Beble. Beble, very savvy and an experienced defender to go along with her ability and overall just knack to score the basketball. Beble gets a lot of those points in transition and in the lane for those floating jump shots, running hooks, and the runners. She's kind of patented that runner from about 7 foot in the lane in front of a shot blocker. But with the length and height of Kirkpatrick potentially being on Beble defensively, we'll see what the Snowbirds. I'm going to go out on the limb here, and I'm going to say I think this could be a Sydney Grzinski game.
You think so? Sydney Grzinski kind of stepping up as that third, fourth player. I would say Sydney Grzinski and also McKinley. McKinley's going to step up too. I would say she always kind of steps up in the games where, Schultz might be struggling, Beble might be struggling.
It sure was. And I was on the call about 2 weeks ago when East Jordan played at Charlevoix, and the Red Devils unfortunately let a fourth quarter lead slip away. But accounting for about 95% of their points was Kirkpatrick and Cross.
Right.
Those two, I want to say, combined for like 36 points in that game. So the two of them, very formidable pair, and they have the ability to score both inside and from the perimeter, respectively.
Yeah, and Kirkpatrick kind of follows in a long line of excellent three-point shooters at East Jordan. I think of quite a few names, McNitt and Weber, just to name a few that have graced the three-point record-holding spots at East Jordan. Kirkpatrick, I'm not sure where her numbers are at, but she's a very good shooter. So having her on this squad at least gives them a chance. And when you got players like Cross and several of the other players, Sherman as well, and Stone, that you're going to have a chance. But this St. Mary's team, I don't know. They're almost suffocating at times. They move so quick. That full-court press they put on you right away is tough to deal with. And as you mentioned earlier, just the knack of Beble, her ability to score in the paint, I think that's what will give Kirkpatrick a tough time is having to guard Beble and then dealing with the fact that she's going to be driving in. You got to make sure you don't foul. Because that will be something they have to be careful.
Also want to make a little shout-out to homecoming for East Jordan head coach Tim Smith. Tim Smith was the basketball coach at Gaylord St. Mary during the early 2000s.
Oh, wow.
Led a couple of teams to regional titles, quarterfinals, state semifinals back in that era. So a little bit of a homecoming for Red Devil head coach Tim Smith as he spent some time here in the blue and white of the Snowbird, walking the Snowbird sidelines.
There we go.
So we're about 2 minutes from tip-off. We're going to step aside here to hear from our pregame sponsor, the Gaylord Eye Care Center. When we come back, we'll wrap up this Gaylord Eye Care Center pregame show and then get ready for a tip-off right after this on Next Level Broadcasting.
Vision Source and Gaylord Eye Care are proud to be offering their services to local communities across northern Michigan. With locations in Gaylord, Point City, Bel Air, and Sheboygan, they're committed to serving you and providing a trusted source of credentials and expertise. If you're struggling with anything vision related, then don't hesitate to schedule a consultation and meet their friendly and experienced staff for yourself.
Are you interested in building a new home or renovating an existing one? With over 100 years of combined experience, J&J Construction is one of the most reliable and respected general contractors in our service area. J&J is a trusted construction partner valued by architects, subcontractors, financiers, and most of all, their clients. J&J Construction has been completing quality homes and improvement projects that add value to the communities they serve. They bring a passion for innovation and a commitment to quality to every job they do. Call them today.
I'm Ryan Beningo, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installation, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike many service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding the gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
We're back. We're good. All right. Welcome back in, folks. Just getting ready for the opening prayer, national anthem, and the starting lineups. Charles Trail alongside Brendan Morris on the call of Next Level Broadcasting's affiliate coverage of Gaylord St. Mary Athletics basketball. It's a Friday night at the Monsignor Kaminsky. We're going to send it over to public address announcer Dave Cordy as he gets prepared for our opening prayer this evening. We had the Whitney Houston high note version tonight on the national anthem.
Is that from the Super Bowl, the big game?
I believe that was
80s?
from the Super Bowl.
80s or 90s? Classic performance there as we get ready for the starting lineups as well. Starting lineups. Starting for East Jordan. Number 5, that's Ellie Lehman. Number 12, Sydney Guerrero, who they brought up from the JV, and now she's spending almost, I believe, the majority of her on the varsity squad. Also, that's number 20, of course, Lindsey Cross, and number 22, Lillian Stone. And number 34, June Kirkpatrick, starting lineup for East Jordan. And of course, the starting lineup for Gaylord St. Mary's. I think I want to say the Fab Five.
We'll go with that, Brendan. I mean, it's going to be Bebel, Schultz, McKinley, Grzinski, and Glasby. I mean, when you have the ability to start 5 seniors like St. Mary does,
right.
A lot like that St. Francis team we saw last Saturday night versus #1 team in the state, Cass Tech. St. Francis started 5 seniors. When you can put 5 seniors out on the floor, I mean, not only do you have just age advantage and experience advantage, but you have that physical strength and size advantage that comes with, the development that a lot of these kids go through now and weight training programs, and that helps a lot in high school sports.
Well, and just the chemistry overall. These ladies not only have been playing together 4 years on varsity, but they've been playing together since second, 3rd grade, since they were children. So, yeah, they've certainly probably had some of the most team chemistry in, I would say, most teams in the state.
Yeah, for sure.
They have been lucky, but we're getting ready for tip-off. Schultz tips it off, and it looks like St. Mary's will begin with possession as Bebel has it right side. She looks immediately inside to Schultz. Floater up and good. That starts them off quickly. Schultz on the board with the first bucket of the game as they have that full court press now. East Jordan already trying to make sure they don't turn it over, with the St. Mary's team always liking to start fast, getting a lot of quick shots right away. They get their first one from Schultz.
Yeah, you don't want to turn it over against the Snowbirds right now, but I really do think that the Red Devils have the personnel to be able to deal with the St. Mary pressure, and once they have that ability to break the pressure, get it inside, we'll see. Styles make fights in high school basketball, and I think that this could potentially be 2 opposing styles and how these teams want to execute.
As St. Mary's works it across the perimeter. That's McKinley inside. A high floater off the backboard, no good. McKinley gets the rebound, though. Grzinski, left side. Macy Bebel, baseline. Defended. Out to Grzinski. The 3 off the mark, left side. Now McKinley with another rebound. Schultz back to Grzinski to the 3. Second 3, no good. Finally brought in by Cross. Couple opportunities there for St. Mary's. No chance in now. Kirkpatrick brings it up for East Jordan as she's guarded closely by Grzinski.
There's a nice entry pass, trying to get it inside to Cross. Had a good seal, but couldn't get the pass.
And tough, too, because Cross had an open look. So had an open look in the lane, but that ball on the other side goes out of bounds. It'll now go to East Jordan. Lindsey Cross to inbound. So just a 2-point ball game, 6:37 this first quarter at Monsignor Kaminsky Gymnasium. You're just tuning in. Gaylord St. Mary's 15-2 hosting the 6-10 East Jordan Red Devils. Ball does go out of bounds, so St. Mary's will take possession. Macy Bebel will bring it up court.
I want to give a shout out to the St. Mary boys today. They beat Mansalona on the road. It was a 4:30 tip-off. A quick tip on a Friday evening.
Right. They had a double header, I believe, the girls and boys over there. So Gaylord, our St. Mary's guys team, was the first game of Mansalona's doubleheader. It's always nice to beat a team on their snow coming, too.
It was Mansalona snow coming tonight.
Their snow coming game, I believe.
Okay. So raining on the snow coming.
Raining on the snow coming. Just a random note about that. My sister does play for Mansalona. She got a massive bruise on her face, went head-to-head with an opponent over one of their last games. Not a thing you want to have right before snow coming.
Black eye, potentially?
Black eye. Oh, it's certainly black eye.
Gaylord Eye Care Center, then,
That's what I'm thinking.
As a quick substitution made by the Snowbirds, checking in is Kaylee Jeffers, replacing Glasby. So it's just under the 6-minute mark in the first quarter, as Snowbirds are already starting to shuffle in personnel.
And they're able to do that well because they can have so many different good looks from their starting 5 and then kind of sub in that six man or six woman. Yeah, 6 woman, as you would say. But here's East Jordan. A little confusion there on the foul there. They're going to call that number 24 for St. Mary's. one of our JV players up on varsity. Sorry, not JV players. That's number 24, Kaylee Jeffers, our freshman. It's always tough, too, when you see a freshman on varsity. And, well, then again, St. Mary's kind of used to that. St. Mary's one of the few programs that consistently can bring 8th graders or freshmen up to varsity, and they perform. And St. Mary's turns it over. Nope. Bebel still with possession. Lost control for a moment. Gets it back. Now over to Grzinski. That's Jeffers in the corner. Grzinski guarded by Kirkpatrick. Over to McKinley. Avoids the double team. Passing to Bebel. Bebel testing the defense. Corner look for McKinley. No good. But a rebound. Strong effort by Schultz. Ball still loose. East Jordan finally claims possession.
So the way that East Jordan needs to play this game, in my opinion, in order to have success is to really slow it down and limit the amount of possessions. Want to squeeze the ball a little bit if you can and make the Snowbirds execute in the half court and don't give the Snowbirds second chance opportunities and offensive rebounds. That's the game that St. Mary wants to play. Can East Jordan possess the ball long enough to run good, clean offense and see if there's any breakdowns in the Snowbird defense in the half court?
So strong defense right now by St. Mary's is Lindsey Cross trying to go inside. She's got 3 defenders around her. Throws up a shot. She's going to draw a foul there.
And right there is an example of some good offense, Brendan, as I was talking about East Jordan. Just kind of moving it around in a motion offense. Cross just kind of ducked into the paint, got a good seal, and she made a nice up and under move, got to the free throw line.
So first shot for Lindsey Cross off the right iron, and her first personal, team first. That was McKinley on the foul. Emma McKinley picks up her first personal. She will go to the line. Just more substitutions, and checking in is actually Miriam Morrell. She checks in for the first time in the game. She's down the court, gets it over to Grzinski, quickly transitioning. And that one bounced off the backboard and in. Cindy Grzinski for 2.
So right away, Snowbirds getting into that secondary transition break off of a missed free throw. Morrell was the first girl down the court, and then they were able to find Grzinski on the second movement of the ball as the Red Devils turned that one over near us. So it'll be St. Mary basketball game. This first half is going really fast. First quarter, I should say.
Yeah, 4:13, just over 4 minutes in this first quarter as Macy Bebel brings it up right side. Over to Sydney Grzinski, taking a few threes so far, but just that bucket inside last possession that'll go out of bounds. Off the foot of a Snowbird. East Jordan takes possession as Lindsey Cross will inbound it, and probably one of the toughest parts. I mean, there's so many good parts of St. Mary's, but this full court press is always tough to deal with. And yet another errant pass.
Yeah, back-to-back turnovers for the Red Devils trying to deal with that St. Mary press. The way to beat the pressure for St. Mary is to get stops defensively, secure the defensive rebound, and then advance the ball in a semi-transition break against the St. Mary set half-court defense. You don't want to let them set up this full-court press.
Schultz shot no good. Rebounds going to East Jordan. Some tough rebounding early on inside by Cross. And Macy Bebel, she sneaks in, gets a steal. Dribbles around, Schultz got the open 3, that's good! Ava Schultz knocking down the tray.
And those are the second chance opportunities that you can't afford to give St. Mary because of their efficiency. And if you've given them 1-2 potential offensive rebounds, that means that they've missed 2 shots consecutively, and they don't miss 3 shots consecutively very often.
Very good disciplined team, is disciplined on defense as well, moving their feet quickly, and Ava Schultz doing a great job.
Nice pass.
Wow. I mean, that was a matchup right there. Ava Schultz all over Cross, but still that pass was able to get inside, just a little tipped around. Macy Bebel, she'll draw the foul. She gets the rebound right behind Lindsey Cross. Cross is a little upset about that, but yeah, I mean, that size difference we talked about, Macy Bebel being a shorter player, she's going to be able to draw those kind of fouls.
And so far the issue for East Jordan has been the offensive rebounding ability of the Snowbirds. Snowbirds are getting a lot of extra possessions just by being the first one to the ball or just kind of waiting for the Red Devils to look for an outlet pass and an outlet pass that isn't really thrown with a lot of force. Macy Bebel had one a little bit earlier, and now she splits the pair at the line.
Yeah, and the tough thing, too, as Lindsey Cross does go to the bench to get some quick break is, when you're taller and you're dealing with a very good guard like Macy Bevel, it's almost tough to see her. So you think, why not always box out? Well, tough to box out sometimes when you can't see the guard coming. As Macy Bevel brought it up court. Now Schultz for a three. That one off the back iron and out. Sydney Guerrero with the rebound. As Kirkpatrick now guarded by Jeffers up the court. Left corner look. East Jordan back up top to Kirkpatrick.
I've been
now
impressed. I've been impressed with the composure the Red Devils have shown once they've broken the full court pressure.
This shot from Guerrero. Now the other way for St. Mary's as Ava Schultz takes it all the way herself. Her third bucket now of this first quarter. 1:48 and counting. Quickly up court. Kirkpatrick with it. It's 22 Lillian Stone. Lehman with it. Guerrero.
Schultz trying to front that post entry.
Yeah, Schultz doing a good job inside, not even letting them drive in really. As you see Kirkpatrick just having to bounce it right back out. Stone guarded closely by Bevel. It's Ellie Lehman. Quick jumper, no good. Macy Bevel quickly across the court, and that one's good. Circus Olay, that one falls 12-0.
Whoop!
We got a timeout, folks, as 1:05 is remaining in this first quarter. Is some quick scoring early on as the Snowbirds have the 12-0 lead.
I mean, the 12-0 lead built by the Snowbirds, it's been built on offensive rebounds and shots inside. One three-pointer made by Ava Schultz in the first quarter so far, but other than that, it's been free throw line, offensive rebounds, and layups. While we get a quick chance, we want to thank our sponsors. We want to thank J&J Construction. Listen, right now, a lot of people have been watching a lot of DIY home improvement shows, flip or flop, rock the block, whatever you find yourself watching, then you try to do it yourself. Probably not the best idea. So when you get caught up over your head in a home renovation project that you probably shouldn't have started in the first place, you should have sought the attention or the professional expertise of our friends and sponsors, J&J Construction.
Yeah, J&J are exactly the kind of people I need. I'm not a person who knows anything about fixing,
right. So before you get over your head, before you get over your skis and trying to do a DIY project yourself, reach out to the friendly and experienced staff of J&J Construction, and they'll help guide you throughout that entire process, whether it's at the start, whether it's in the beginning, whether it's at the point where you're throwing your hands in the air and you just need help. That's our friends at J&J Construction, a proud sponsor of Snowbird basketball. 12-0 lead for the Snowbirds, 1 minute and 5 seconds left to go. What's impressed you so far, Brennan?
Early on, just really like the Snowbirds' defense shutout so far. I really like how Schultz, like you kind of said, fronting that post, but also their transition game, quick, almost too quick for the cameraman. They've really played well in the transition game, getting some of those good looks. It's still a low-scoring game, 12-0, minute left, but early on, showing plenty of poise. As off the timeout, under a minute and counting now, and East Jordan with it. Quick look, 3-point no good. Still not a defense or offensive rebound for East Jordan as they missed that one. St. Mary's now with it. That's McKinley, has it tipped away as she drove inside. Now Kirkpatrick, 4-on-3, it's stolen. Quickly Jeffers down the court, has three defenders around her. Shot no good, but McKinley. Emma McKinley responds with the rebound and put back. Puts them up by 14. 20 seconds and counting. Trying to get across the court quickly. Jeffers with another steal. Back-to-back steals by Jeffers to set up one final possession of this first quarter. Macy Bevel.
St. Mary's going to set up probably a high ball screen action here between Schultz and Bevel.
How about she knocks down that three? Nope, no good. Now quickly, Kirkpatrick, 1 second, and that will do it for the first quarter. Snowbirds lead 14-0 here on Next Level Broadcasting.
Vision Source and Gaylord Eye Care are proud to be offering their services to local communities across northern Michigan. With locations in Gaylord, Point City, Bel Air, and Sheboygan, they're committed to serving you and providing a trusted source of credentials and expertise. If you're struggling with anything vision related, then don't hesitate to schedule a consultation and meet their friendly and experienced staff for yourself.
Ryan Beningo, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installation, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike many service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding the gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
Alrighty, hello, welcome back to Next Level Broadcasting. Brendan Morris joining you with coverage of Gaylord St. Mary's girls varsity game. A solid first quarter play by Bevel and Schultz, and 14-0 is the score as we get ready for the second quarter of action. Also, shout out to Jeffers, one of the freshmen on this St. Mary team, had a couple quick steals to make that final quarter, or that last quarter, exciting. And we start the second quarter now. In the corner, Schultz with it. A little long there on the three, no good. So now the baseline look for the Snowbirds. Cindy Grzinski up high. She'll drive in all the way, no good. Rebound battle, it's gonna stay with St. Mary's. Looks like that was off the hands of Lindsey Cross. Now Schultz, the inbound. Fake to look. We'll go back up top to Grzinski. We'll see if she can handle this one. Back inside to Schultz. Off the mark, no good. Kirkpatrick will bring it up for East Jordan. That's Lehman with it. Over to Kirkpatrick. Still have yet to score. Snowbirds finally get their first bucket of the game with Kirkpatrick scoring that close two-pointer. And quickly across court, Jeffers over to Schultz. She thought about it, but inside, Grzinski, floater, no good. Lindsey Cross with an easy rebound there. And quickly, Kirkpatrick checking her surroundings, and not soon enough as it was tipped and stolen. Quickly the other way, St. Mary's. No good. So kind of back and forth the past few transition. Neither team can really get it in the bucket. A couple turnovers back and forth for both teams. And quickly, Lindsey Cross, guarded by two defenders, gets it to fall. That was a nice play there by Cross, as that brings them within 10. But Jeffers now up court. And I do want to welcome in the probably one of the lead varsity members of this Gaylord St. Mary's team, Gavin Bevel. Welcome to the broadcast, man. How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good. So this varsity girls game, exciting to be able to watch your classmates, your friends, sisters, cousins in a sense.
Yeah.
You know these girls real well. Can you tell me what has always just impressed you growing up with not only Macy and not only Ava and all these ladies? What have you seen from them over the years that you've been impressed with that keeps them always just so good?
Yeah, I think Coach Schultz does a really good job with their practices, keeping it upbeat. It's like a college type of practice from the college practices I've been to, just like upbeat. They do a lot of conditioning. Everything they do is drills, but it has conditioning in it, and I think that's the reason they play the way they do.
Yeah, so Gavin, can you talk about your scene? Obviously, we cover your guys' games as well. I've had a chance to cover a few of your games. Can you tell us your next matchup? What are you expecting out of that game?
Yeah, we have on-away on Wednesday, so that should be another good one. We won it at their place by like 10 or 11, I'm pretty sure, but we just got to take it one game at a time, so we know they're a solid opponent.
And for people just joining in once again, Gavin Bevel, varsity member of the boys basketball team. Gavin, you actually just got back from a game, did you not?
Yeah, we did.
So you traveled to Mansalona, beat them on their snow coming game. What was the final score?
I think it was like 81-69, so they played well with us. We didn't shoot the ball as well as we wanted to, but came away with the win, so that's all that matters.
Scoring 81 points and still could probably work on the shooting. That tells you about the potential of your team this season.
Right, yeah.
Can you talk about, what you guys almost done. You got less than 10
Yeah.
games. You got about 5 or 6 games left.
Yeah, we got probably 5 or 6 conference games left, and then we'll go into the postseason and hopefully make a decent run and win the first district that our school has in a while. So we're looking forward to it.
I was talking to Charles, and out of all the teams we cover, I would say Gaylord St. Mary's, both your team, your boys team, and girls team, had the best chances, I would say, this year of making deep runs.
Yeah, it's exciting, definitely. We know our girls are really good, so just the chemistry in the classroom and around the community is really good right now.
And so can you kind of tell me what is it like on a day when you say the community, the chemistry is really good? What is it like in school and, just at practice too? What's the
Yeah, it's kind of a friendly rivalry. Like we lost our win streak, which was like 12, and they still got their win streak going. They have 2 losses, we have 2 losses, so like it's fun. We joke around with each other, but we both know we're really solid.
Absolutely, it's still a family atmosphere. It's a solid 3 for Brzezinski. And speaking of that 3, who would you say the best 3-pointer is out of all both girls and guys teams? Who do you think can knock it down uncontested the most threes? So if you had a 3-point contest.
I don't know. We got a lot of good 3-point shooters this year. The past few games, Emma McKinley's been shooting it really good. Ava Schultz can always shoot it good. Sydney, obviously, and then DJ, Brody, me. I don't know. There's a lot.
You got a lot of them. 17-8. Both teams have made a couple good scores, but 4:05. We do have a full timeout called on the court. And we will quickly hear from some of our sponsors here on Next Level Broadcasting.
I'm Ryan Beningo, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installation, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike many service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding the gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
Are you interested in building a new home or renovating an existing one? With over 100 years of combined experience, J&J Construction is one of the most reliable and respected general contractors in our service area. J&J is a trusted construction partner valued by architects, subcontractors, financiers, and most of all, their clients. J&J Construction has been completing quality homes and improvement projects that add value to the communities they serve. They bring a passion for innovation and a commitment to quality to every job they do. Call them today.
Welcome back to Next Level Broadcasting. Brendan Morris joining you, covering tonight's action as Gaylord St. Mary's girls up 17-8 off the timeout. Macy Bevel throws one up, but before the shot, she's called for a travel. So second quarter action, 3:49 as St. Mary's leading, but East Jordan had a little run going. They've made a couple baskets. They've at least kind of made a dent, but still a pretty dominant performance early on in this first half with East Jordan moving around. And once again, I want to welcome back in Gavin Bebel, lead seniors on that boys varsity team. Gavin, what's your overall record right now? I know you said you have Onaway next, coming off that big win earlier today against Mansalona.
Yeah, I think we're 13 or 14-2. We have 2 losses. So,
gotcha. So leading the Ski Valley Conference, who would you say your toughest opponent in the Ski Valley Conference this year has been?
Obviously, the Inland Lakes game was really fun, going into overtime with them, and they're a solid opponent always. And then Onaway, I think. So it's going to be fun here next Wednesday. But every team so far, the second half of the year, has gave us a good run for our money. So
would you say those overtime games like that, what does that do for do you guys – what is it like going an overtime game?
Yeah, it's fun. I don't know. At times it's fun and it's scary, but like once you go up 5 or go up 4 and you're getting fouled, you start to relax and just play your basketball again.
Absolutely. It's probably tough when it's a tie game and you're worried about fouling. But yeah, if you're ahead and you get fouled, that's probably nice. How confident would you say 1 to 10 when you're at the line shooting free throws? Packed house, overtime game is tied up.
Yeah, to knock on wood, I've done pretty good, but I feel like I missed the free throws early in the game and then make the ones that count, so that's been good so far. But
yeah, I would say just from an outsider observation, I mean, much like any team, sometimes you might have a tough first quarter just warming up, especially with all these games. That's basically every team you see. But You guys are a 4-quarter team. I mean, every quarter you guys put out a performance that is respectable and typically good enough to win. So
yeah, our main thing we say at halftime every game is just we're a second half team. Like whether we're down or up at half, I feel like we got to come out third quarter with energy no matter what, and that helps us out.
Kind of start that second half a 0-0 score and take it from there. What can you tell us about your coach, who is, I feel like, been really proud of you guys this season?
Yeah, I think Coach Dale's done a great job, as well as Coach Tom and Coach Matowski. I think we bring the energy in practice every day, and just they all bring something different to the table to keep us hype, but also keep us humble. And we know we got to be better. Like, the job's not finished yet. We got a lot of more games to win, but we're doing well now.
So just over 2 minutes in this second quarter, 17-8 still the score as East Jordan trying to get it across court with this press. Lindsey Cross with it over to Kirkpatrick. So out of the games you've played this season, what would you say your best game was?
Oh, geez, I don't know. I think we played really well at Onaway. I think our bench played their best game there. Brody and Daniel Jacobson had foul trouble, and Ryland and Croft, they made their layups. And just recently, Donovan's been playing a lot better too. So as a team, I think we're playing better, and we've had a lot of really good close games that we came away with a win, which we're happy about.
And can you talk about some of your teammates, just some of the guys you just kind of mentioned there? What do you like about those guys, and how do they help you kind of make your job easier?
Yeah, 100%. I think everyone on our team plays well together, and we're unselfish. I mean, it's always good. We know Brody can get a bucket, DJ can shoot the three, and our guys down low are doing a great job this year, Croft and Ryland, and then even Hogan McKinley coming in and playing defense, and obviously Donovan playing defense, and just these past few games he's been taking it to the rack a lot stronger, which has helped us out.
There you go. So just over a minute, Macy Bevel up top. Guarded closely. Grzinski almost had an open look. She was tempted to shoot it. As Snowbirds lead, still 17-8. They work it around the perimeter. That's Jeffers inside. Nice look. Off the mark. No good, but offensive rebound at Grzinski. Over to Schultz. Up top, Bevel. Inside. What does she got? That one off the mark. And now East Jordan will bring it up court. So under a minute. Gavin, just another question for you. When you think about graduating and whatnot, what are your emotions in this final season of high school?
Yeah, I'm not sure yet. I got a few offers to play at the next level, so I haven't decided what I'm going to do. But my time at St. Mary's has been really fun, obviously, and just it's getting surreal these past, 3 games, just knowing that it's the end of the season. I'm never going to play here again, but it's fun.
Yeah, hey, I mean, you've grown up on this court. You'll have to leave it all out there eventually, but you got a few more games to give it your all. So best of luck to you, though, on the rest of the season. You guys are going to make a run that I'm sure I'll get to watch and be a part. Well, maybe not be a part of, but I'll get to call it. And you just have a good rest of your weekend, good rest of your season,
you too.
And senior year. Take care.
Yep, you too.
Once again, that was Gavin Bevel joining the broadcast. Just over 11 seconds remaining in this second quarter. We do have a quick confusion at the scores table with a foul that was called.
Man, that kid talks a lot, doesn't he?
Just so much. I love it. He actually just made my job a lot easier. I was tempted to leave him on the whole broadcast just so we could get a little bit more breathing time, but I understand. The kid's probably tired. I mean, literally coming from a game.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
I mean, after, he kind of plays most of the game.
Right.
If I was playing most of the game, man,
I would be.
I wouldn't have enough wind in my diaphragm to talk the whole next day.
No, and look, I'll be honest with you. As much as I'd want to support my my fellow varsity players and my cousin and friends and whatnot, I don't know if I'd be able to make it. I'd be tired. Especially they put up 81 points. And I don't know if you heard him, but he said, they didn't shoot the best, and they put up 81.
Right. So one thing about the Red Devils, though, so far in the second quarter, they made a nice little run to trim this down to a 7-point game.
Yeah, so just before halftime, one of the last second shots. That one. Good.
Rips it. Rips the net.
Wow. As time expired, McKinley knocks it down. That puts them up with 10 or by 10. So with 2 quarters in the books, folks, it's 20-10. Your Snowbirds with a lead at halftime. We'll go to break, hear from some of our sponsors, and then we'll be back with the J&J Construction halftime show. You're on Next Level Broadcasting.
Are you interested in building a new home or renovating an existing one? With over 100 years of combined experience, J&J Construction is one of the most reliable and respected general contractors in our service area. J&J is a trusted construction partner valued by architects, subcontractors, financiers, and most of all, their clients. J&J Construction has been completing quality homes and improvement projects that add value to the communities they serve. They bring a passion for innovation and a commitment to quality to every job they do. Call them today.
Vision Source and Gaylord Eye Care are proud to be offering their services to local communities across northern Michigan. With locations in Gaylord, Point City, Bel Air, and Sheboygan, they're committed to serving you and providing a trusted source of credentials and expertise. If you're struggling with anything vision related, then don't hesitate to schedule a consultation and meet their friendly and experienced staff for yourself.
I'm Ryan Beningo, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installation, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike many service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding the gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
This is Charles, founder of Next Level Broadcasting. Interested in advertising on our channel? Get a hold of us. And next week, this commercial could be yours. This is Charles, founder of Next Level Broadcasting. Interested in advertising on our channel? Get a hold of us. And next week, this commercial could be yours.
I'm Ryan Beningo, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installation, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike many service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding the gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
Are you interested in building a new home or renovating an existing one? With over 100 years of combined experience, J&J Construction is one of the most reliable and respected general contractors in our service area. J&J is a trusted construction partner valued by architects, subcontractors, financiers, and most of all, their clients. J&J Construction has been completing quality homes and improvement projects that add value to the communities they serve. They bring a passion for innovation and a commitment to quality to every job they do. Call them today.
Hello, welcome back to Next Level Broadcasting. Brendan Morris joining you for this halftime report brought to you by J&J Construction, your halftime sponsor. Well, if you're just joining us, folks, it's a 20-10 Snowbird lead, as typically Snowbirds, very few games have they trailed, if any games have they trailed at halftime, and they're making decent work right now early on. But actually, surprisingly, this East Jordan team, they're fighting pretty hard, as it was scoreless at the end of the first quarter, 14-0. But since then, East Jordan, they went on a little run of their own due to some turnovers and whatnot, and it's only a 10-point contest, folks. So still 2 quarters to play. Just about 5 minutes in the left in halftime. But once again, J&J Construction halftime report. So breaking down some of the stuff that happened that first quarter. Don't have stats to give you, but from my observation, really was impressed by the interior defense for Gaylord St. Mary's. Their defense just really was suffocating early on. Lindsey Cross couldn't get the ball a whole lot, trying to kind of lob it into her on a few occasions, as you saw in that first half. But also, I mean, what does Gaylord St. Mary's do best more than almost any other team? Their transition game, their speed. They had that on display in the first half. But I think both teams at times struggled with rebounding, but more so East Jordan, they certainly struggled with offensive rebounds. When you think about having multiple opportunities, having more than one shot, your chances of making a basket certainly increases the more shots you take, I would say. And unfortunately for East Jordan, they haven't had a whole lot of shot opportunities. They get the one shot, and the ball kind of flies around, and then it goes over to St. Mary's. So St. Mary's has had a lot of transition a lot of transition possessions so far, and they've made quick work of it. Schultz putting up some big shots. Grzinski had a three, McKinley had a big shot to end that first half as well. So everyone's kind of getting involved for this St. Mary's squad, and Kirkpatrick has a couple scores as she was driving inside. And also do want to give a quick shout out to Gavin Bebel for joining us that second quarter. Gavin Bebel, the Gaylord St. Mary's boys team, they defeated Mansalona on the road earlier today, and Gavin Bebel was able to drive all the way back here, or I guess take that bus all the way back here, and come support his classmates, the varsity girls team. So that was exciting, being able to talk to him. And the boys team, they've got Onaway in their next matchup. But once again, back to this J&J Construction halftime report. 20-10, 3 minutes in the halftime left. Gaylord St. Mary's, I would say, in the second half, they got to just stay true to who they are. Definitely need to work on some of the mistakes early on, like some of those turnovers they've had. And when you're playing a team like East Jordan, you never want to keep them in it, especially if it comes down to a single-digit game or a single-digit score in this second half, and you start having some foul issues. That's when teams like this East Jordan team kind of sneak up behind you. In a sense, I would say this could still be a trap game. But when you have players like Bebel, McKinley, and Schultz, you really will never expect the St. Mary's team to kind of falter off. I expect the second half to be much of the same business as usual. For East Jordan, what do you do? How do you stop this fast-paced St. Mary's team? How do you stop the Snowbirds? And really the only way to do it is you got to rebound better, and you got to limit their shots. They've driven in a lot. They've taken a lot of shots. That's another thing, too, is early on, St. Mary's has taken plenty of shots. They were missing a lot of shots early on. It was 14-0 at the end of the first quarter, but you know, when you give them, the more shots you give them, and a team like East Jordan or a team like St. Mary's will make you pay. So just under 2 minutes left in this halftime as Charles joins me now.
I'm back, man. I had to swap a contact in and out.
Yeah.
I just happened to be on the road so much that I carried about 5 or 6 spare contacts with me at all times.
I was about to say, I'm not a contact guy, although I could use a checkup with
the Gaylord Eye Care Center, man. You go in there, you might get a prescription that gets you contacts.
There you go. So I've always wondered about the contact, the cleansing, the cleaning it and whatnot. When you drop it, what do you just go get a new pair at Gaylord Eye Care Center?
I mean, when you drop a contact, it depends on if you're a daily contact wearer or if you're a monthly contact wearer. If you're a monthly contact wearer, you got to pick that thing up, dust it off, look for any abrasions, dirt, and then drop it into some saline solution, and then get your mind right and stick that puppy back in your eye. That's what you got to do when you're a monthly contact wearer. But when you're a daily contact wearer like I am, you just go get a new one, and then you're basically back on track after that. So with 45 seconds left to go in the third quarter, we're going to expedite things as they're ready to start third quarter play. Once again, Snowbird basketball brought to you by Schultz Party Store, J&J Construction, Golf, Gaylord at Gaylord Eye Care Center. Third quarter just about underway, 20-10 lead for the Snowbirds. I overheard Coach Pat Schultz outside saying that he wants to pick up the amount of possessions that this game will have in the third quarter. Let's see if the Snowbirds can do just that.
Yeah, that second quarter, near the end of it, they started dealing with some turnovers and whatnot, so want to clean it up a bit as Schultz gets things started with a quick three, but no good. And out of bounds, it looks like Grzinski and Sydney Guerrero both dove. That ball went out of bounds. Solid play, heads-up play by both of those ladies. Fighting for possession as East Jordan will bring it up. So going to be Kirkpatrick bringing the ball up as she's guarded by McKinley. And also number 22, Lillian Stone, with possession. So they slowly try and bring it up past this full-court press. So as we begin the second half, East Jordan only down by 10. They got to be smart early on and get themselves in a groove. You don't want to start the second half. The second half, you want to kind of go to something right away that you know you can get. And that one might work.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
Nice drive on the baseline. Good body control and a little bit of body contortion to get that one to go without drawing the offensive foul, as she was kind of just gliding by that defender there who came over in help side defense.
So missed shot on the other side by Sydney Grzinski, number 13. And now out of bounds. It will stick with St. Mary's as McKinley has it back to Grzinski. Grzinski looking right side over to Schultz. She's guarded by, or closely by Kirkpatrick. Corner look, and that one no good.
So far this game being played at the pace of the Red Devils right now.
Right.
With their height and size, the ability to kind of shrink the amount of possessions in the game. That is a game plan that's best suited and tailored for the Red Devils and how they want to play.
And kind of mentioning at the halftime report, something East Jordan's going to want to do is limit these possessions of St. Mary's, get a little bit better rebounding. They already did there. Lindsey Cross had the rebound. As now East Jordan on their side of the court drawing a foul. Didn't see who the foul was on, but that'll send Kirkpatrick to the line to shoot a pair of free throws. And they are only trailing by 8 points now. So this game is close as we are at the 6:30 mark here in the third quarter. Kirkpatrick missed the first shot, so now try and at least go 50% here at the line as that one swishes on in. So quickly, Macy Bevel up the court. Tried to go off this screen, but good defense by Kirkpatrick. East Jordan coming up real close. But Macy Bevel, she just dribbles across or right past the defense inside for a bucket. And now the full court press. Macy Bevel defending Stone as Stone tries to get it to her partner there. Now Kirkpatrick up top. And it's stolen. Grzinski 2-on-1. That's good. That one, probably 100% chance of making that one, I would say. Very minimal chances of missing. So now East Jordan bringing it back up, 24-13. Another steal, back-to-back turnovers. This is exactly what we're talking about. East Jordan cannot let this happen in the second half. They had to come out quickly making some stops, and unfortunately, 2 quick turnovers, giving St. Mary's another possession. Macy Bevel with it. That's Lehman on the defense off the screen. Oh, nice defense there as East Jordan gets the steal. Now Kirkpatrick will bring it the other way. Stone guarded by Macy Bevel. Cross court, Sydney Guerrero. Now baseline, Kirkpatrick went. She tripped, fell. We're going to have a timeout. So, yeah, it looks like a quick timeout called on the court. That's going to be on the Red Devils. So Tim Smith wants to talk things over. He kind of talking with referee Vanderveer, Dave Vanderveer, the lead official tonight, explaining him what the call was there. So 30-second timeout. 5:06 in this third quarter, 24-13. I'm Brendan Morris. If you're just joining us, St. Mary's, they've led the whole game. Initially had a 14-0 run in the first quarter, but since then, East Jordan not backing down. Sometimes when you're visiting team, East Jordan 6-10, they've had their fair share of tough competition this year playing in the Lake Michigan Conference. Sometimes early on when you face an opponent like St. Mary's who is quick and scores quickly, you can kind of get down on yourself. But no, this East Jordan team, they've got enough players and leaders on this team to at least stay headstrong as they still have a chance in this game. 24-13 off the timeout. Quickly inside, Lindsey Cross double teamed, and no chance there. She's got the height advantage. She gets it to go, 24-15 now. Quickly up court, Macy Bevel. Left side, Jeffers, no good. Inside the rebound battle, it's won by East Jordan. So now Kirkpatrick brings it up. June Kirkpatrick over there, that's a 3, no good, off the mark by Izzy Boyer. In transition, Jeffers, no good. Boyer gets the rebound over to Kirkpatrick. Quickly up court, Kirkpatrick up top to Lindsey Cross. 3-point look, no good. That attempt by Lily Stone. Macy Bevel driving, crossing through defenders, and ultimately drawing the foul. One of the signature Bebel moves there inside. That'll send her to the paint. She'll shoot a pair of free throws off the missed shot. 24-15, 4-12 in this third quarter. Once again, I want to thank you to all of our sponsors for making this broadcast possible. The first bucket falls for Macy Bebel. Also, want to thank all of you listening at home right now. I know we have some listeners typically in Florida as well. They've got family up here and enjoying what I'm assuming is warm weather in Florida right now. We've got 30-degree temps, blowing snow. Inside, though, got some great basketball at Monsignor Kaminsky Gymnasium. Gaylord St. Mary's at the top of the East Jordan Red Devils, 26-15. Macy Bebel in transition, just under 4 minutes. That three no good. So out of bounds. As you really don't have, at this gym, you don't have the option of diving for a lot of out-of-bounds balls. I mean, it's a close court, close wall. I mean, just a matter of 2-3 feet, really. And then at the sidelines, even tighter. So at this Monsignor Kaminsky Gymnasium, it's probably tough for opponents to want to go for those close balls at the sideline or at the baseline. Gets a little intimidating sometimes, but it's almost like a home court advantage for St. Mary's as East Jordan moves it around. The three no good there, but inside they got the defensive rebound. And it looks like Lillian Stone had the rebound, and I think she actually went up for a shot. They're going to call a foul. So St. Mary's called for the foul, but it was before the shot on the ground or on the floor, so it'll just be a baseline inbound for East Jordan as Cross has it. Lindsey Cross inside to Kirkpatrick, and that falls. Snowbirds, Red Devils making some noise, that is. And foul's going to be called there. So inside, that was Jeffers, got bodied up by 25. Izzy Boyer, that'll be Izzy Boyer, I believe a second personal foul for her. So 26-17, relatively close matchup still midway through this third quarter as we do have a quick substitution. And we'll talk here real quick. They want to double check. They make sure they had this foul on the correct person. It looked like 25, Izzy Boyer, not too sure. I think they want to double check how many fouls she had. So yeah, I don't think she had quite enough where Coach Nixon wanted, or Coach Smith wanted to take her out. Coach Smith is going to leave her in. St. Mary's with possession. That's Macy Bebel ball handling, guarded closely by Lehman, and Macy Bebel, wow, keeping the dribble alive, moving her feet. That shot no good, but man, that was still a good look by Bebel, and she is going to be called for the foul. She reached in there. It looked like a pretty clear reach in, and unfortunately that'll put a foul on her. She'll go to the bench. She's not in foul trouble, I don't believe, but coach wants to send her to the bench either way. So now Jeffers with the steal, and Jeffers shoots. And now foul for East Jordan as Lillian Stone is going to be called. And that's going to be a shooting foul. So now number 24, your very own Kaylee Jeffers at the line, shooting a pair of free throws. Has been a very, very impressive freshman on this team as she makes her first free throw. And Kaylee Jeffers, yeah, just a freshman as you've heard all season, but plays like an upperclassman. And the St. Mary's team, you know, Schultz and Bebel and McKinley, they all played as freshmen as well. They get it. It's a long line of successful freshmen, 4-year starters on the St. Mary's team. So 27-17, 10-point game as that one's out of bounds. Tough hustle there by McKinley. Emma McKinley was able to knock it out, but out of bounds on her, so East Jordan will keep possession. And that's Ellie Lehman inbounding. Ellie Lehman, one of the few seniors on this team. So Ellie Lehman and Lindsey Cross, the only two seniors on this young Red Devil team. Even bringing up players like Sydney Guerrero from the JV, hoping she can benefit from some early varsity time. And that's a three. knocked down, and 30-17 will make the score there. 2:30 in this third quarter. Lindsey Cross quickly to Kirkpatrick down the court, and they're going to call that a blocking foul. They're going to call that a foul on Sydney Grzinski for the Snowbirds. So she gets a foul that'll send June Kirkpatrick to the line. She'll shoot a pair of free throws after the missed shot and the foul. Once again, 30-17. And that first shot is good. A substitution checking in for the Red Devils. It is number 12, Sydney Guerrero. Sydney Guerrero, just a freshman, and already pulled up on varsity. We'll see what she can deliver in the next few years, and that'll be a name to watch out for in the East Jordan region. Shot off the mark by Kirkpatrick, out of bounds. It stays with the Red Devils. So Red Devils just off of 66 there in East Jordan. They're 6-10 on the season. Their latest game came from a tough loss from Traverse City St. Francis. And look, Traverse City St. Francis is a powerhouse team and school in northern Michigan. And teams like East Jordan, Boyne City, they got to play St. Francis twice a year in basketball. And it is tough. So for them to be 6-10 is actually very impressive for the conference they play in. And they're playing a very good Ski Valley leading team, Gaylord St. Mary's, as Lindsey Cross is able to get one for two there, crossing between defenders. And Sydney Grzinski, she responds quickly. 1:49 and counting, 32-20. It's a 12-point deficit for East Jordan. They're trying to get it across court. Emma McKinley took a fall, but she got out quickly. So now Ellie Lehman, guarded by Jeffers. Kirkpatrick winds up. That one knocked down. East Jordan starting to make some noise. And this one, folks, is a ball game single-digit lead for St. Mary's. Davis Schultz wanted to pull up. She'll dribble. Out of bounds, too. Errant pass. And this is kind of a mindset thing. You're thinking late third quarter. You don't want to let East Jordan right back in it, but you kind of already have, so you got to play smart here with 1:14 remaining in the third quarter. They're going to double team Lehman. Stone back to Kirkpatrick. Now across court. Cross with it. That three-pointer, no good. So a missed shot will bring St. Mary's in transition. Off the mark. Emma McKinley couldn't get it to fall. Sydney Guerrero over to Kirkpatrick. 45 seconds and counting. Ellie Lehman up top. Back to Kirkpatrick. She goes baseline. And that shot good. Had the double team, and she still made it happen. What a look by Cross. Sydney Grzinski inside, off the foot of her teammate Glasby. It's going to be a jump ball. So substitutions checking in. That's Miriam Morrell for St. Mary's. And checking in number 35, Lizzie Pop. Checking in for the Red Devils. 26 seconds and counting. Ellie Lehman going to have to make quick work, get open, or they need some help. And that's what they do. Stone comes up quickly. Kirkpatrick, she gets the handoff. She's going to take it all the way. No. Up top, safety net. No good. Rebound. That's going to be St. Mary's possession. You're going to have an over-the-back call on number 35, Lizzie Pop, going for that rebound. And unfortunately, reaching over the defender will get you a foul every time. 13 seconds and counting. St. Mary's will have the final possession, barring any turnover. Ava Schultz with it up top. Kaylee Jeffers inside. That will be off the fingertips of Sydney Guerrero, so that'll keep it here on this side. St. Mary's have 3 seconds. Schultz looking. And, oh, wow, easy look inside. No good on the first mark. Oh, my goodness. So, 32-25. That's 3 quarters in the books, folks, as we've got one more quarter of action for you. It is Next Level Broadcasting. We'll be back in just moments.
Vision Source and Gaylord Eye Care are proud to be offering their services to local communities across northern Michigan. With locations in Gaylord, Point City, Bel Air, and Sheboygan, they're committed to serving you and providing a trusted source of credentials and expertise. If you're struggling with anything vision related, then don't hesitate to schedule a consultation and meet their friendly and experienced staff for yourself.
I'm Ryan Beningo, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installation, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike many service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding the gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
All right, we're back with fourth quarter action, and that means we get to thank some of our sponsors tonight. First of all, we want to thank Schultz's Marathon Party Store. Listen, for other Snowbird away games when you're going up I-75 to Onaway, Inland Lakes, or Pellston, stop on in and fuel up. Grab your favorite snacks at Schultz's Marathon Party Store on the Wolverine exit off of I-75. Also, want to thank our friends at Gaylord Eye Care Center. Listen, for all of your eye care needs with 4 locations in Sheboygan, Gaylord, Boyne City, and Bel Air, there's no reason why you can't stop into the Gaylord Eye Care Center for a free consultation. That's the Gaylord Eye Care Center, a proud sponsor of Snowbird basketball.
As we begin the fourth quarter, East Jordan with possession, 32-25. That third quarter, impressive by East Jordan to keep in this contest. A big 3 by Kirkpatrick near the end of the quarter. Lindsey Cross has done some good things inside. And just some mental errors so far for St. Mary's in that third quarter, kind of sloppy. So I'm sure Coach is talking to them already, expecting a lot more in this final quarter. And, you know, Pat Schultz always expecting good basketball. And, you're going to make mental errors. You might have to sit on the bench for a little bit, as we've had a little bit more substituting than as of late from St. Mary's. So another turnover there. Lindsey Cross has it. Pump fakes over to Ellie Lehman. No good.
I thought for sure Cross was going to take that three-pointer, Brendan. I mean, she's been shooting it well here in the second half, kind of the engine that's been powering the Red Devils through the first 9 minutes of the second half. I mean, I know for a fact that I never saw a shot I didn't like. I would have pulled it.
Right. I mean, even if there was a shot I didn't like, I'd still pull it, but that's why I sat the bench. So.
Well, I mean, what are they going to do, bench you?
That's what they did. Yeah, that's okay. Hey, that's why I broadcast games. Three-pointer look, that's good. Ava Schultz knocking one down. She hasn't scored since the second quarter, and back on the scoring sheet. Cross court. Stolen. Ooh, Jeffers.
Good play by her to get the steal and the save.
It looked like she almost did the splits. That had to hurt, but she's a tough player. Gets back up. They're walking through their possession as that shot no good.
Just a tad too strong from the corner 3 from McKinley. It's a really good job of the Snowbirds moving the ball, getting a quality shot. But one thing that the Snowbirds haven't had the luxury of in this second half are those offensive rebounds. The Red Devils doing a good job of kind of shutting that off and limiting the Snowbirds to one shot. I think that's something that's allowed the Red Devils to climb back into this game. It was a 10-point game at halftime, and it's still a 10-point game right now.
Yeah.
As we stand with 6 minutes, 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
And I like what you said, too, because during the halftime report, I was kind of thinking, hey, I mean, if there's one thing East Jordan needs to immediately fix, it's the possessions they're giving to St. Mary's and obviously probably turnovers. And so far, they've kind of fixed both of those.
And there's the turnover right there, though. As Kirkpatrick kind of dribbled right into that trap, and the trap just kind of, well, obviously it's called a trap because it just comes out of nowhere and surprises you.
So, dribbling to the corner too. Those left, when you're dribbling up the court, going on the sides, kind of not permitted because then you're going to go right into the corner. That's where they want you to go on a trap.
As Pat Schultz is going to take a full timeout, we're going to take some time to thank some more of our sponsors. Want to thank our friends at Golf Gaylord. Listen, at some point in time, your athletic career and playing days, well, whether it's playing men's or women's recreational basketball in your 20s or 30s, oftentimes the fun just ends. And that's when Golf Gaylord comes in to swoop in and turn your new passion to golf. With Golf Gaylord, you can get expert lessons from their pros. You can go in and get a new set of clubs. If you're like me and the current set of clubs that you have, everything just seems to slice, you can go into Golf Gaylord, get a whole new set of clubs, and fix that slice while you're there with their expert lessons and also their indoor drive and shot simulator. That's Golf Gaylord, proud sponsor of Snowbird basketball.
Really nice to have living in northern Michigan, an indoor shot simulator.
Yeah,
that's really nice.
Of course. And also want to thank our friends once again, Schultz Marathon Party Store off of the Wolverine exit on I-75 for all those Snowbird away games going up north to Onaway, Pellston, Inland Lakes, or some of those playoff games when you take on some Upper Peninsula teams. Schultz's Marathon Party Store is the favorite destination to fuel up and get all your game day snacks ready for those Snowbird away games. Also, our friends at J&J Construction. Listen, with all the DIY home improvement shows out there, sometimes you get a little over your head trying to do it yourself, and that's where the pros at J&J come in. Give them a call, and they will help you complete your project, whether from start to finish, or if they come in midway through and help you out of a tough situation. That's J&J Construction. They can do it all.
So as we resume from the timeout, East Jordan with possession off the St. Mary's turnover. 10-point lead, as Charles said earlier, 35-25, 5:30 remaining in the ball game. And Coach Schultz making sure they have their correct defensive look as East Jordan is inbounding. Ellie Lehman up top. Now in the left corner. Kirkpatrick going to pull it up. Schultz was in her face. Shot's no good. And that's almost out of bounds. Sydney Grzinski saves it. Now Jeffers back to Grzinski. Working it around the perimeter. Miriam Morrell. That shot no good. They've struggled from three in this second half. I believe just 1 3 falling. And that's going to be a foul.
Didn't see who that was on.
Looks like number 22 for East Jordan. Looks like going to be called for the blocking foul on Grzinski. So, this number 22 is Lillian Stone for the Red Devils.
Still a 10-point margin right now in the game as we approach that 5-minute mark in the fourth quarter. It'll be interesting to see the strategy that East Jordan employs here. They've been very patient so far offensively, meticulous, trying to work the ball inside, get some early duck-ins to their post players. Will they kind of increase the tempo a little bit on the offensive side of things if they're unable to turn the Snowbirds over and get easy transition opportunities? There's a travel, though, so they get the turnover, and that's exactly what the Red Devils need with just 5 minutes left to play, down 10. Got to be able to get turnovers and stops and whatever you can do to increase your chances at more possessions.
And Pat Schultz is almost livid right now on the bench. Not very happy with some of these turnovers he's seen in this second half, keeping the Red Devils in it as they're working it around their perimeter. That's Kirkpatrick driving inside on Miriam Morrell. Solid defense, though. The help defense by Jeffers. Lindsey Cross guarded by Schultz. Can't even drive it in. Schultz going to cut her off right there. So East Jordan still moving around. Of course, no shot clock, so they've got all the time they need. But
yeah, so far about a 35-second possession for East Jordan. Just kind of waiting for the defense to break down and then seize the opportunity when it does. But so far, Snowbirds continuing very stringent defense.
Oh, and they almost turned into a turnover, but luckily East Jordan able to keep a hold of it because that kind of thrown off the mark. Lindsey Cross defended, and that's going to be a foul. So good first part of that was good. Defense got right there, but when you bring the hands down, that's when the fouls happen. So if you're going to be on the interior defense, got to keep the hands up.
And when your team down in the fourth quarter, great way to score is at the free throw line because the clock isn't moving. Tough luck missed there as just one rolled off the front of the rim for Cross. But you can get to the free throw line in the fourth quarter, whether via a shooting foul or being in the bonus. it's a great way to mount a comeback.
Yeah, so when I was in school, Coach would always say, if you ever lose a game from free throws, not making a few free throws, and it's a single-digit or even 10-point game like this, and you're not making your free throws, well, you're running the next day. Because when you're trying to fight back, you're trailing, and you're not making the free throws. Those are free buckets you can get. And that's a three-pointer. That one's good. Emma McKinley making it happen. 38-26, 3:44 in this ball game.
The Snowbirds showing no signs of slowing down here, Brendan. I mean, up by 9 points at that possession, and McKinley going to go baseline, but pulling threes, playing their game through and through to the final buzzer sound. So, like, you got to like the intensity and the strategic attention to their game plan.
So East Jordan dealing with a 12-point deficit, just over 3 minutes and counting, as Sydney Guerrero has it. Guerrero over to Kirkpatrick. And she's kind of working the offensive play. Got it inside to Lehman. Kirkpatrick, step up. That shot good. And we're going to have a timeout to Coach Smith. And we're take a 30-second timeout.
And we're back to a 10-point game. So the Snowbirds came down, hit the three-pointer from the corner. Red Devils ran a nice offensive set, got a nice post touch. Didn't quite score it down in the paint, put a nice little kick out back to Kirkpatrick as she was found, and she was open. So she was able to knock it in and like a nice little 15, 16-foot jump shot, showing the mid-range game. Right now, these two teams, it's been a very evenly played second half, and I'm not just saying that because it was a 10-point lead at halftime and it's still a 10-point lead, but the way that these two teams have executed their game plans and their particular styles of play has been very entertaining to watch tonight.
Yeah, I think I've been just really impressed with the coaches able to, switch things up, I would say. I mean, East Jordan, able to kind of stick in this contest. There's times where they needed to work on stuff. They went into halftime, and they worked on it. They're still down by the same amount of points, but they've looked better this second half as they get the steal. Sydney Guerrero tipped it free. And the other way, Kirkpatrick. That's a bucket to bring them within 8. Macy Bebelo quickly, guarded by Lehman. And she brings it to McKinley inside. That shot off the mark. Rebounded by Bebel. Inside, Glasby's shot is good. And she was fouled. That'll be an and one opportunity as Emma Glasby will go to the line, shoot one more to try and make this a 3-point play. They lead 40-30.
And what a big-time answer for the Snowbirds after the Red Devils cut it to a 8-point game. The Snowbirds with a big answer, and Glasby unable to complete the 3-point play, but still a momentous play nonetheless for the Snowbirds as they were able to set their defense because of the free throw.
So working around the perimeter, East Jordan with it in the left corner. Glasby on the defense, so is Bebel. Cross court, inside.
Probably want Sherman taking that open shot there for the Red Devils. I mean, there wasn't any defenders really anywhere close. Obviously, the game plan so far has been trying to get it inside to Cross, but with a three-quarter front from Schultz being applied, you might have a better opportunity of letting that three fly.
Also do want to give a shout-out to Meg Kitson if she's listening. Meg, if you're listening right now in East Jordan, thank you for watching Next Level Broadcasting.
Looks like the Snowbirds pulling it out a little bit here towards half court, trying to run a little bit of clock as we're under the 2-minute mark in the game. Still a 10-point margin in favor of the Snowbirds. Right now, both of these coaches kind of need to be talking about an offense-defense scenario. If you're the Red Devils, you need to be drawing up a scheme to get a trap and potentially a turnover or held ball. So the possession arrow favors the Red Devils right now. If you can get a held ball call, it's basically a turnover.
Absolutely. Well, and two, if you're St. Mary's, you just want to play clean. You're not looking to foul. You don't need to foul. But also, some of the turnovers we've seen, make smart passes. Fake a pass, make a pass.
Fake a pass, make a pass. You're going to trademark that one?
I think I'm going to trademark that one, or my 4th grade basketball coach may have already done.
He might. I mean, it's a race to the finish line to see you can trademark that one, my man. I still like the one 10 eyes, 1 mind.
Yeah, that one was good. That's good. That's a good one.
Oh, nice backdoor pass for the Snowbirds coming out of the timeout, and a quick foul applied by Kirkpatrick on Jeffers. That was actually really smart for the Red Devils to do that. You immediately extend the game.
Barely 2 seconds taken off the clock, too.
Yes.
And, quickly.
And it gives them a chance to substitute. They can bring back in Cross, for defensive rebounding purposes and offensive purposes as well, as East Jordan's kind of doing a little offense-defense substitution right now as Jeffers tees it up for the first at the line. And so far it worked out for the Red Devils to send the Snowbirds to the line quickly.
Still just a 10-point lead off the miss inside. That bucket's good. It brings it to an 8-point contest as the 2-pointer good by Cross. Lindsey Cross having a good night. One of the leaders on this EJ team. 40-32, a minute 27 off the full timeout we'll have from Coach Schultz.
And we're going to keep it right here and just kind of summarize this game so far in a nutshell. It was 20-10 at halftime. Both teams opening it up a little bit offensively in the second half. Snowbirds with 20 points on the board in the second half. East Jordan, 22 points on the board in the second half.
I would say East Jordan has come a long way from that first quarter, being shut out 14-0 in the first quarter. Since then, they've kind of slowly chipped away. The second quarter, they were doing a couple things right. And then out of halftime, they immediately did a couple good things in the third quarter, chipped away, brought it within a couple of points, then back to a 10-point lead. And now in this fourth quarter, they've just kind of gone back and forth with St. Mary's.
And now that it's an 8-point game, look for East Jordan to quickly foul, extend the game once again, send a St. Mary player to the free throw line for a 1-and-1 opportunity if they're unable to get a quick trap into steal. Once again, possession arrow still favoring the Red Devils, so a tie-up right now is just as good as a steal.
Ava Schultz running the baseline, trying to get it inside, and back to McKinley.
If you get your tie-up, you get a steal, but they get a foul. Kirkpatrick almost had the tie-up, or was that Guerrero who almost had the tie-up on McKinley?
Yeah, Guerrero was in there, and so was Kirkpatrick, and unfortunately, with the foul, that'll send one of the top shooters, probably the best free throw shooter, Ava Schultz, to the line.
So one thing, when the ball goes down toward the shoe level, that's really when you see a lot of those held ball possession arrows. The first one for Schultz is good. Like the pass from McKinley to Schultz, I thought that Kirkpatrick had a quick chance to get two hands on it and get the tie-up.
And that's kind of what you want to in those situations. You know St. Mary's wants to quickly get it in, and if you get him in between those passes quickly, you can make something happen. But the steal off the miss, and that's going to fall.
That's kind of a dagger right there.
Right, yeah, that one good by McKinley. She's been good all game. McKinley has kind of been the one to step up.
It's crazy. How often do you see a team up by 11 or 9 points with a full court trapping pressure?
Right.
70 feet from the basket.
Yeah.
It's very unorthodox, but for the Snowbirds, it's what they hang their hat on.
Well, and I would say, too, is that's something Coach Schultz, like you just said, hang your hat on. But you want to get into the rhythm of doing that, even against teams you might be leading, because let's say you get into a quarterfinal matchup, you're trailing, and you got to do that.
It's kind of like the ability to always play your game.
Right, exactly. So.
Well, one thing I do want to point out is, so it was 14-0 at the end of the first quarter.
Correct, yeah.
Since then, East Jordan has outplayed the Snowbirds by a +4 advantage.
Right.
We have a 10-point game right now, so if you take away the first quarter and the 14-point lead that the Red Devils spotted the Snowbirds, you would have a tie game.
There you go. So that's... Hey, I'm not even going to try and do the math in my head or anything like that. All I know is East Jordan, that's clearly because they fought back and they were able to really test St. Mary's transition game in the second half and also their ball handling, which is something St. Mary's does pretty well. Macy Bevel and all their guards are all really, really good ball handlers. They make smart choices, but for a little bit in the second half, they were making some mistakes that kept EJ in it. And that's a tough fall as Lindsey Cross hits the ground. Luckily, she looks to be okay. But 44-33, 50 seconds and counting in this game. That'll probably give St. Mary's the lead, or the win, I say. But we do have a little bit more left in store as Lindsey Cross is fouled in the
act of shooting, yeah.
In the act of shooting. She'll go to the line to shoot a pair of free throws. Once again, 44-33.
Yeah, we talked about the matchup
seconds.
Cross versus Schultz.
Yeah.
And we really haven't seen that mano-a-mano matchup per se because the Snowbirds trap so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
When the ball is caught, they're immediately rushing to whoever caught the ball. So you don't really get those one-on-one opportunities versus this team. But Cross and Kirkpatrick have been, huge on the boards, as that's a possession error that will favor the Red Devils. Gotta like their ability, the Red Devils that is, to continually battle on the offensive and defensive boards. And I think that's why this game has remained at that 10-11 point margin since the second quarter, because of the Red Devils' ability to dominate the glass.
Inside, that's good.
I mean, that's kind of their non-negotiable. They force you and limit you to one shot. And in that first quarter, they weren't limiting the Snowbirds to one shot, and that's how the Snowbirds built that 14-0 first quarter lead.
So now Macy Bevel trying to run this clock out, 20 seconds and counting, 44-35. And East Jordan will kind of back things up, let the time roll out. So after a hard-fought battle from East Jordan, that'll end the game at 44-35. Snowbirds now 16 straight wins. This Gaylord St. Mary's team is legit, and they just won another out-of-conference battle here at Monsignor Kaminsky Gymnasium. That'll wrap up the game. Once again, 44-35 as your final here from Monsignor Kaminsky Gymnasium.
So for myself, Charles Trail, Brendan Morris, Johnny Burkhardt, our auxiliary cameraman and technical producer tonight, all the guys outside in the truck running audio and video, we want to say thank you for tuning in. For all of our sponsors tonight, J&J Construction, the Gaylord Eye Care Center, Schultz's Marathon, Party Store, Professional Seamless Gutters, we thank you, and we will see everyone back next week with some big games coming up on Next Level Broadcasting's affiliate coverage of Gaylord St. Mary Athletics. Have a great weekend, everyone.